Welcome to Youth Empowerment for All. My name is Steve Lee. I'm the organizing partner for Major Group for Children and Youth. We manage over 120 different policy processes throughout the United Nations for young people between the ages of 0 to 30 to directly participate and shape young people's voice into these policy processes. If you're interested in getting involved and directly shaping these agendas, you can ask the organizers how to find me, and you can visit unmgcy.org to find more information. I would like to talk today about particularly on social innovation, which is what you're here to do. How can you make impact? How can you bring about change in implementing the Sustainable Development Goals to create a more inclusive, fair, prosperous, and sustainable future? And I want to talk about a few things that you should keep in mind as you try to think about what kind of programs and projects can I start implementing on the ground. First thing you want to think about is, what am I passionate about? What is my passion? That's really important. You want to, you're going out of your way to try to do something nice for other people. You're trying to do something that will make the world a better place. You're trying to do something here. Why would you go out of your way to do this if you don't even know, if you don't even want to do it, if you're not even passionate about it? So, and whatever it is that you choose to do, there will be opposition. Everything that's worth doing in life has a cost and has a price to pay. And it's going to be difficult, it's going to be challenging, and if you don't have that personal passion for this, you will give up at some point. So, do yourself a favor, do the world a favor, find something you like to do, you're good at, find something you're passionate about, and start with that. So that's the first thing you want to think about. Second thing is, what is your community's passion? Whatever you're passionate about and the program that you're trying to do to serve that, you're doing that for a particular community. Whether it's a geographical community, whether it's a social community, whatever it is, you have a community, an audience for whom you're trying to deliver these services to make their lives better. You need to find something that both you and your community are passionate about together. And I guarantee you there is something that both your community and yourself are passionate about. If you try to force your passion onto a community, it will never work. It might look like it's working at some point, but it will not last. It's not a sustainable, it's not a durable solution. All companies go through extensive market research to understand their customers, to understand their market. Well, for us, our market is the community that we're trying to serve. You cannot go against the will of the people. You cannot go against the market. You cannot go against the community. You need to find something both you and your community are passionate about together. Now, there are some cases where what you're passionate about is not matching with the community. That's why advocacy exists. So if you find yourself that the thing you're very passionate about is something your community does not want to do, then you have to launch extensive advocacy campaign. Then that's a different name of the game here. But you need to know that you're going to be fighting an uphill battle. So if that's what you're called to and that's what your passion is, then God bless you. Do the advocacy. That's the work I do. But don't try to do that even when there is something both you and your community are passionate about. Start with something both you and your community are both passionate about. Start from there, and then you can start to add on advocacy as the momentum gets built up too. The third thing you want to think about is cost. There are only three things you can really manage in life or in project management: money, time, quality. You cannot have all three. You have to, if it's going to be expensive, if it's going to take more time, quality will go up. If you want quality, if you want to compromise on quality, then it could be cheaper or more expensive. You can only control quality, cost, and time. If you want to do something in a short period of time, it's going to be more expensive, or the quality will be not as good, etc. So you always have to think about the cost. It would be nice if this happened, but if it's going to cost you, incredible amount of money or time, well, then there should be better ways to achieve what you want to do. There should be less expensive ways. There should be more resourceful ways to get what you want and what the community wants. You cannot ignore the cost. Cost is an inherent part of how we develop solutions, and especially for social innovation, cost and price is very important to look at. And the most limited resource is not money, it's time. Time is the most limited resource. Volunteering looks like it's free, but it's actually valuable time that people are putting in. So if it's going to take you an incredible amount of time to get something very simple done, and, is that worth it then? You need to do this cost benefit analysis. You want to look at how much time it's going to cost, how much money it's going to cost, how many people and community support it's going to take to achieve it, and then be very realistic about the cost benefit analysis. You want to find what you're passionate about, what does the community want to do, and how much time and money and community support is that going to cost. All of that balanced together at the end produces impact. Impact has to be measurable, impact has to be verifiable, and it needs to have a timeline. The SMART goals, objectives and key results, there are many different frameworks and guidelines to do this, but the impact needs to be quantifiable. If you cannot count, you will never know if or how it was done, right? We always overinflate our own impact and downgrade and expect less of other people's impact. We always think we're doing an amazing work. So we actually have to be able to count the impact. Not everything is countable, but you want to produce proxies or different indicators to see if you're getting there. You have to be able to count what impact you're making. So measurable, quantifiable, verifiable in a public, transparent way. You want to create your goals to be publicly announceable. It needs to be trackable. You need to be able to know that this is the number we're trying to hit and we're on target to do that, or we're not, so we need to change what we're doing. These are the 4 ingredients that I would highly recommend you consider as you're doing your project. You want to find what you're passionate about. Second, what your community is also passionate about. Third, how much time, money, and community support it's going to cost you. And fourth, the impact that's public, transparent, measurable, quantifiable, verifiable, trackable, all those things. So God bless you with the task at your hand. We live in a world with messed up people. You and me, we're all messed up in some ways, and our world is built and improved, and everything is done by messed up, fallen people. And the only way we're going to improve these things is if you actually pull up your sleeves and get to work and get your hands dirty. And that is when the Sustainable Development Goals actually get implemented, not when we think and talk about it. So I hope this conference is going to be helpful and useful for you to really implement the solutions through social innovation. Find something you're passionate about, your community is also passionate about, how much money, time, and community support it's going to cost you, and impact that can be counted, verifiable, quantifiable, and measurable. All right, thank you so much. Good luck.